Hi, it's Vicki. I'm here at the Toronto Western Hospital, and I'm here to speak to you today about the OR Whiteboard, the first of its kind.
This project resulted from OR Transformation, a collaborative effort between the operating room, the OR Holdings, and the Day Surgery Unit, which is the surgical admission unit. And so very much we had communication issues between the departments, numerous phone calls, miscommunication, delays in OR start times. So the idea generated from that group, and this was a solution, a strategy as to how we can communicate across the various surgical departments.
It's helped us in the sense that it, especially when family members are coming throughout the day to find out where their family members are, we can look up at the board and we can see exactly where they're at, and we can tell the family members, okay, they're still in the operating room or they've just arrived in the recovery room, and then we can give them an idea of how much longer it'll be for them for waiting for their family members. The other thing is we have other issues that used to always be phone calls, which is sense of no consents or history and physicals not being done. We have a comment board part on the board where we can just click in anything that's important, so that the people in the other end also picks it up very readily, instead of us having to do the phone calls all the time.
The great thing about this project is it's something that the staff really had come up with on their own, so just working with the team and implementing the project was very smooth, because they're the ones who came up with the idea and they really were driving the project. So I've been told by our technical team that this is probably one of the more complicated whiteboards, just because we've introduced a lot of functionality that, again, the team had come up with. So the staff are the ones who have been asking for certain things to happen to get data from ORSA. So technically there is quite a bit of functionality. We do have all the different areas in the OR sort of touching some part of the whiteboard, so it is being updated by all areas.
I think having something like this here in the OR and showing that it actually has value, it has value to the patient, it has value to the clinicians who are trying to talk to each other and communicate with each other, it has value tightening connections between care providers. That has applicability across the board. It has applicability in an inpatient setting, it has applicability in the emergency departments. And really our hope is to bring this kind of value to everybody.
It's lovely to see that this is finally coming to fruition. I noticed, as a matter of fact, on this whiteboard, I just counted up, we've got 11 different operating or 11 different admitting surgeons on this whiteboard. And I think if you ask any nurse, the idea of having so many services having to be accommodated on one service really invites confusion, invites real challenges in communication, and this sort of board is just the kind of thing that's needed to put that kind of complex environment a little bit simpler and allow people to communicate better.
I eliminated a lot of calls, unwanted calls, and you can actually see in real time what is actually transparent with where the patient is in status-wise, if they're ready or not ready. Also, you can have clear discrepancy of if they're going for a block or if the patient is isolated, precautions. All the information that is needed for us to know is right there at our hands, at our fingertips.
For me, I like the comments section, because normally I would have to call the nurses on the floor to find out about the consent, if the surgeon was called or if blood was taken. Now it's different. I can just glance to the right of the board and I've seen everything. I find it's a good tool for me, and I am sure everyone will like that. We see the flow of the patient.
We spent a lot of time in the past on the phone trying to determine when our patients were coming in and or where they were going, and now with the whiteboard we have that immediate information in front of us, and we are able to spend more time with the patients rather than on the phone. We are able to look into each of the separate little OR rooms and determine exactly where they are in the process. So by going into OR 9, for example, we can see what patients actually in the room at the time and what time they went in. And then we are able to also estimate what time they might be coming out, because when they are closing, they indicate that on there, and that gives us 10 minutes to then get ready for the patient.
We all know change management is a difficult thing that we face every day around here. We're all trying to do better for the patients. We're all trying to make things more efficient and safer for patients. But what we have to do at the same time for the healthcare provider, we have to make things easier for people. That's the only way that we can really effect change in a very long-lasting and sustaining way. From the sounds of things and what I've seen this afternoon, it's not going to take people any more time to input the data. They're going to do the same kind of work that they've done in the past, except that they're going to enter it into a tool that's going to benefit them, the healthcare provider, the patient, the patient's family. It's going to be a real win all